she suddenly shifted in her seat, as if startled by a strange sensation deep within her body. He gently rubbed the laptop's touchpad. In a dull, colorless office that felt drained of life, rows of employees sat slumped over their laptops, fingers moving endlessly across keyboards. The atmosphere felt thick and suffocating, weighed down by routine and quiet despair. No one chatted. No one laughed. The only sound was the constant tapping of keys echoing against the walls. Among the sea of exhausted faces sat one man, blending in like everyone else, another overworked, unnoticed employee, until something bizarre pulled him out of that monotony. He frowned at his laptop screen. His mouse pointer was gone. Confused, he glanced around the screen's edges, but it wasn't there. Instead, to his disbelief, the pointer had drifted off the display entirely and was now hovering on the wall beside him. He blinked hard, thinking his eyes were playing tricks on him. Slowly, cautiously, he moved his mouse. The pointer responded, gliding smoothly along the wall like a streak of light. When he guided it back toward the laptop, it slipped effortlessly onto the screen again, as though nothing unusual had happened. A rush of adrenaline surged through him. His heart began pounding. He quickly scanned the room. No one seemed to notice. His coworkers remained buried in their screens, prisoners of their repetitive tasks. A slow smile tugged at his lips as an idea began forming. Carefully, he pointed the cursor at a plastic cup resting on his desk. He hesitated for a split second, then clicked. The cup tipped over instantly, spilling its contents across the desk. His breath caught in his throat. He jerked his head up, looking around nervously. A couple of colleagues glanced in his direction, but when they saw nothing out of the ordinary, they simply returned to their work. He steadied the cup upright, trying to compose himself. His hands were trembling, not from fear, but from the overwhelming realization of what might be possible. A small stack of sticky notes sat nearby. He arranged them carefully, almost ceremoniously, as if setting markers for an experiment. His grin widened. His mind raced with possibilities. What else could he manipulate? Then his gaze fell on a formal letter beside him, his termination notice neatly signed by the manager. The humiliation of it still burned. Slowly, he hovered the mouse pointer over the paper. The printed words began to shimmer. Before his eyes, the static text transformed, behaving like editable content on a word processor. He stared in awe. With growing boldness, he deleted the termination statement and began typing a new message. Line by line, he rewrote his fate. The dismissal turned into a promotion. The tone shifted from rejection to praise. At the bottom, the manager's signature remained, now endorsing his success instead of ending his career. He leaned back in his chair, smiling broadly. Even so, he stayed cautious, glancing around to ensure no one had noticed anything strange. Then he slipped his laptop into his bag and walked out into the hallway. As he approached the lobby, he noticed a coworker he had long admired from a distance. She sat at her desk, focused on her work, unaware of his presence. A mischievous thought flickered through his mind. He paused, then suppressed it. Not here, not yet. He moved to a nearby lounge area and sat down, watching her quietly. A darker smile crept across his face. Slowly, he reopened his laptop and sent the mouse pointer drifting across the room. The cursor slid beneath her desk, moving upward along her thigh and toward her most private area. When he double-clicked on his laptop, she suddenly shifted in her seat, as if startled by a strange sensation deep within her body. He gently rubbed the laptop's touchpad, guiding the pointer's movements with subtle precision. As his fingers moved, she reacted, her breathing changing, her posture stiffening. It was as if she could feel every motion he made. The more he moved his finger on the laptop, the more intensely she responded. The sensation seemed to charge her repeatedly, stirring something undeniable inside. Her expression softened, turning increasingly seductive. He watched, growing more excited by her reactions. His fingers mimicked intimate motions across the touchpad, and her body responded as though she were being touched directly. He continued this for some time. Her composure began to unravel. Eventually, unable to contain herself any longer, she abruptly stood and hurried toward the restroom, desperate for release. Satisfied, he closed the laptop and made his way upstairs to the building's terrace. Up there, one of his friends stood smoking with another coworker. Without hesitation, he pulled his friend aside, leading him away from the others. "You won't believe what I can do," he said, eyes wide with manic excitement. His friend laughed dismissively until he demonstrated. The man pointed his mouse toward a shop sign across the street. With a single click, the lettering on the sign shifted, changing words in real time. His friend's laughter faded. Next, he targeted a parked car below, and with a subtle flick of his wrist, shrank it down to the size of a toy model. His friend stared in stunned silence. "We're gods now," the friend whispered, trembling with exhilaration. A dangerous gleam appeared in both their eyes. Encouraged, his friend challenged him to do more. "Cover those windows, turn them into blank walls, erase things." The man complied effortlessly, altering reality as though it were simple software. But then the owner of the parked car arrived, searching frantically for his vehicle. Instead of a full-sized car, he found only a tiny toy version sitting in its place. As his friend rambled excitedly beside him, temptation began to twist his thoughts. Quietly, he guided the mouse pointer around his friend's body, outlining him within an invisible selection box. His friend kept talking, unaware. Then he pressed Ctrl+X. Instantly, the selected portion of his friend's body was sliced cleanly at the edges of the invisible box. His arm dropped onto the rooftop, severed, while the rest of his body vanished into nothingness. The man stood frozen, horrified at what he had done. Below, screams erupted. People had spotted the severed arm. Panic exploded through him as faces turned upward, pointing at him and shouting accusations. To them, he was a murderer. In a desperate reflex, he dragged the mouse pointer across the crowd below, enclosing them within another invisible selection. He pressed Ctrl+X again. They disappeared, completely erased. Breathing heavily, he slammed his laptop shut and bolted from the building. The streets outside were eerily empty. He stumbled forward, frantic and disoriented, waving at passing cars and begging for help. None stopped. Then, from the corner of his eye, he saw something enormous. He turned slowly. A gigantic mouse pointer hovered above a nearby building, moving with deliberate control. His stomach dropped. That wasn't his cursor. Someone else was controlling it. Before he could react, the massive pointer began descending toward him, accelerating with terrifying speed. It loomed over him, casting a shadow that swallowed his entire body. He looked up, paralyzed with fear. The pointer clicked. Everything went black. A chilling reminder lingered in the darkness. The boundary between reality and technology may be far thinner than we ever imagined. If this mind-bending story gripped you, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible content every week. Want to stay connected, receive exclusive updates, and become a part of a vibrant community of thinkers, dreamers, and crypto enthusiasts? Join our Telegram channel, Glumora Echoes. We're creating a space where ideas flow freely, opportunities grow, and creativity never stops. Whether you love tech-driven stories, reality-warping concepts, or deep crypto discussions, there's a place for you you with us. Click the link in the description and join today. Let's evolve together, unlock fresh possibilities, and stay ahead of the future. This is only the beginning. See you on the inside.